Good day, class, and welcome to your tutors. My name is Sholola Yusuf, and I'll be taking on the course Mass Media and Society, but specifically, we'll be looking at the challenges facing mass media in our society. So, the mass media plays a pivotal role in shaping the social, political, economic, and cultural landscape of any society. As a powerful institution, it informs, it educates, it entertains, and influences public opinion. However, despite its indispensable functions, the mass media still faces numerous challenges that affect its credibility, its independence, and ability to function optimally within society. So we'll be taking the challenges one step at a time. So one of the most foremost challenges confronting the mass media is the issue of ethics. The issue of ethics. So let's say it is ethical consensus in mass media, the issue of ethics. So particularly the prevalence of misinformation and fake news as regards ethics. And misinformation here refers to the unintentional dissemination of accurate or misleading information, while fake news is the deliberate creation of false information with the intent to deceive or manipulate the audience. So these practices erode public trust in journalism and creates confusion within society. For instance, during national crises such as the pandemic or elections, the spread of unverified information can mislead the public, and this may sometimes cause panic and even influence political outcomes unfairly. So, sensationalism, on the other side, also compounds ethical challenges because, in a bid to attract audience attention and generate profit, some media outlets resort to exaggerating or dramatizing news stories, and this often leads to a distortion of facts, the prioritization of tribal news over important societal issues, and it also contributes negatively to the degradation of journalistic standards. So another significant challenge is regulation and censorship. Regulation and censorship. While some level of regulation is necessary to maintain order and protect national interests, it can be misused by governments to suppress dissent and control the flow of information. So, in many societies, especially under authoritarian regimes, media houses face direct censorship or indirect pressure to avoid topics that may portray the government in a negative light. So, this undermines the press freedom and it limits the media's role as a watchdog of society or a watchdog of democracy. So, additionally, media practitioners often find themselves in conflict with privacy laws and ethical boundaries when reporting on sensitive issues or the private lives of individuals. So the quest for exclusives sometimes leads to the invasion of privacy just because a particular journalist wants exclusive news. They end up breaking into people's privacy or probably stepping on the wrong foot. So which only affects the dignity of those involved, but also tarnishes the credibility of the media institution. Another one is challenge that we have is technological disruption. This is also a major challenge. The rise of digital technology has revolutionized the media. So while it has increased access to information and democratized content creation, it has also disrupted traditional media business models. So print newspapers and broadcast stations today now face dwindling audiences as more people turn to online platforms for their news and entertainment. So social media has particularly altered how news is produced and also how it is consumed. So it allows for instant sharing information, but also contributes to unchecked spread of rumors and half-truths here and there. So furthermore, we can say traditional media organizations today also struggle to compete with the real-time pace of digital platforms, which is why you notice some of them today as traditional media have also been able to embrace the social media platforms so as to be able to have a grip on their own audience. So, and this oftentimes, without them doing that, they will feel more pressured, and sometimes they will end up prioritizing speed over accuracy. So the migration of advertisers to digital platforms such as Google, Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, and which one I want to Snapchat, TikTok, has also led to significant revenue losses for traditional media outlets. And this results to budget cuts, staff layoffs, and it has over the time or over the years reduced capacity for investigative reporting. So the next challenge that we have is media ownership and bias, and this presents to us another complex challenge towards mass media in our society. So when media ownership is concentrated in the hands of a few individuals, corporations or political entities, this ownership style limits diversity in content and perspectives, because he who pays the piper calls the tune. The workers or the staff working in this media organization will have to listen or play or dance to the tune and the whims and caprices of the owner of the organization, of the media outlet. So media owners can influence editorial decisions. They can slant coverage to favor their own interest and suppress stories that may be damaging to their reputation or sometimes to even their allies. So this undermines journalistic independence and reduces the credibility of news content. So audiences become skeptical of media messages, and in highly polarized environment, they may consume only those media that align with their beliefs and further entrenching division and bias. And finally, on the challenges of within the mass media in our society today, is the spread of misinformation, which has become a formidable threat to the integrity of the media. So the virality of false information, especially on social media platforms, poses a challenge for professional journalists who must fact check. Again, who must fact check and verify information before they publish at all. Unfortunately, fake news often travels faster than verified news, and this makes it difficult for the truth to catch up. Though the truth might end up catching up, but we all know with this Yoruba adage that says, "Yoruba lolo gondo, otito ṣì ń padà bọ̀ wá bá ni." But however, the rumor must have traveled really far. So the consequences of misinformation are far-reaching. They include political instability, they include increased hate speech, ethnic and religious tensions, and a general distrust of legitimate news sources. So the challenge is worsened by the lack of media literacy among the general public, which makes people vulnerable to manipulation and also propaganda. So, and also to propaganda. Sometimes we look at how then do we um, go beyond this challenge in the world of media. We'll be treating that just after this class. However, it is imperative to know that, of course, the media landscape is there, and we have so many other challenges that will still be coming up again and again as a result of the presence of what we now have as the digital media, or what we refer to as the new media. So this problem will keep posing itself again and again and again and again. So we have an assignment, and the assignment reads us: critically examine the major ethical and structural challenges facing mass media in Nigeria today and suggest practical solutions. So thank you for your time.